Loktarg, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a max effort upper day. And just a quick reminder for you guys, for those of you who watch and enjoy these videos every day, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. You know, and I've got a video coming out tomorrow discussing trying to deal with the psychology of cutting, in particular things like pressing strength when I'm cutting, and how I'm dealing with it. And I'm not letting any of it get to me. You know, pressing could have gone better today. It was like, I ended up against 50 pounds of bands on a close grip, doing 267 plus 50 pounds of bands. Now, for me, that basically tells us where my max is. People say, what do you mean? I can max against bands the same thing I can against straight weight, especially on close grip benching, right? So for me, I don't get anything out of it as in, oh yeah, you know, like someone will say, hey, I can do, my max is 300, but I can do 275 plus 50 pounds of bands. Nope, that's not me. I'm within 0 to 10 pounds of whatever the band max tension has added to the plates every time I test it. So for me, that means my close grip is probably only about 315 at the moment. And I accept that because, again, rebuilding a bunch of muscles after that impingement. And I'm going to keep trying to push to get stronger. I'm going to push with everything I have to get stronger, in spite of cutting. And, you know, as you guys will hear me discuss in the video on that tomorrow, I'm actually bringing down the number I'm going to aim for. Assessing myself even after 18 pounds, another 13 is not going to put me where I need to be, and I need wiggle room to bulk and cut. So I'm going to go lower than the 210, and I need to. It needs to happen. So, you know, we just deal with it. We deal with it. And, you know, today I changed a little bit of stuff up, and some things I'm having to change just to get the range of motions that I want. You know, and it's one thing, and mainly it'll help with the comments. But, you know, another thing is, look, if you're ignorant and you argue with me and get insulting out of your own ignorance, I'm just going to ban you. Okay? And a lot of people clearly do not have a working knowledge of biomechanics when they come in and assess my stuff. And it's one thing to say, hey, I don't know what's going on because you explain this, I don't understand. Instead of accusing me of lying because you don't know biomechanics, right? I don't go to someone who knows more than me and argue with them and call them an idiot or accuse them of lying. I say, hey, I don't understand what you're saying. This doesn't sound right to me based on what I'm seeing. See how simple that is? It's called basic human interaction. But after that, we did close grip benching. And again, you guys will notice I am setting up tighter. I'm using an arch, squeezing the bench, by the way, with my thighs, so that I'm set in super tight. And these are all paused. So I did 245 for 3x6, relatively challenging. I'm going to try to progress linearly, slowly on this with micro loading. When it stalls, I'll add chains. I'll probably do the same thing on the incline. Incline went pretty good today, though. Although on the close grip, I do need to get better at tucking a little more at the very bottom. It would give me a little more ideal leverages, even though I'm always strongest close grip, but I'm going to press close grip. Might as well. And I'm going to build the close grip. Now, one of the things you guys will notice, I pulled out the dips. Why? I notice they make my shoulders a little clicky after I do them. And it's both sides. It's not just the old side that have been injured. I don't need that. And I think the dip is a great exercise. Phenomenal exercise. But no matter how tight I get or how I set them up, this doesn't ever feel right in my shoulders sometimes. So I'm not going to risk it. I don't need dips. I can build my pecs off of all the close grip and the incline. In fact, the incline close grip hits my chest absurdly hard. It literally hurts after every set. Not just a pump, it hurts. I'm not worried about it. I just need to do more tricep work, though, to stay on top of the triceps, because triceps are going to be the name of the game for me, which is the only thing I was frustrated with today. Everything else went really good. JM presses, I couldn't get them to feel right when I added weight. So, weighted pull-ups, I am going to continue to do with a very narrow grip. Right? I do these very close, and I just try to get the best stretch I can at the bottom. Where the problems came in is because I do not have good overhead mobility, and with a closer grip, I cannot get my arm perfectly upright. I cannot get it straight up in the air, like 180 degrees. I can only do that at wider angles. So accordingly, when I was doing chin-ups and I explained this is the bottom of my range of motion, I literally had clowns argue and say you're lying because your elbows are bent. Okay. Basic biomechanics. And that's the other reason I'm doing it, because I need the elbow to bend more. Right? I need it straighter at the bottom when I do those, because I need the bicep activation. I need to actually train the biceps more, because I physically can't do it. And some people would say, well, I don't understand. Now, if you just say, I don't understand, see how much easier that is? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Since I am hanging fairly upright, if my shoulder cannot get all the way up, I cannot extend my shoulder that far, the elbow cannot lock out either on the chins. Does that make sense? The only way it can happen is if I swing way forward. Like if I swing my feet 3 or 4 feet forward, like 3 feet forward in the air, so that my torso is at an angle, that's the only way the elbows will lock out. Well, you can do that with body weight, but when you're hanging plates, it gets real hard to do that. Okay? So on the chin-ups, I went outside shoulder width so that I could get a longer range of motion out of it. Like I can get my arms more upright relative to my torso without having to swing my torso way under. That way it let me extend my arms more, because my shoulders were, that was the bottom of my range of motion for the shoulder. And you can dead hang all you want, but if that joint and that movement is limiting you, the other joints are going to fall in line with gravity. You can't change that. So I adjusted the grip. And you guys will see that when I get to it. I went wider. It's okay, because I need the extra bicep stretch. It'll actually help prevent bicep tears on the deadlift. Close grip incline bumped the weight just slightly, and I felt it today though. Interestingly enough, doing the dips didn't fatigue me as much, because I do these and I'm like, yeah, these are just as hard even if I've not done dips. Right? Doing it as a second real press instead of the third, it's just as challenging, because again, more front delt. But I feel a lot of delt on these, a lot of front delt, but I feel a lot of pec too. Exactly what we want, and actually pretty similar to what I feel on the close grip benching. Right, so what I feel on the close grip benching. And so what am I going to have to do for the close grip benching? Just let these two lifts build my pecs. It's fine. And as I get stronger on the close gripping, the pecs will get more tension anyways. It's okay. And the same thing on the incline. I'm going to overdevelop the delts and triceps. Delts and triceps are going to have to be a high priority. If you're going to close grip bench, and that's why the close grip bench carries over so well back and forth with the overhead press, the close grip bench uses more upper chest and more delt and more tricep than a wider grip bench does, which gives you more pec. Okay, that's what's going on. So I just need to overbuild those areas, and I will. We're going to work on a lot of overhead pressing, and I'm having to change my mechanics a little on the overhead press. Just like on the chin up, actually you're going to see a very common trend, because I went yesterday to see where I can get the best ranges of motion. Every couple inches I add to my width of grip on any of these, I can get better overhead mobility. The problem is that it starts to compromise shoulders, and you start to get real weak. And we're cutting range of motion again, so it's not worth it. So here with the chins, I'm like, look, just a hair outside shoulder width, I get a better range of motion, and I focused on getting my full range of motion, getting a stretch at the bottom. On some of these, you'll notice I pause at the bottom. If I pause at the bottom, I'm not holding any tension, and it might look like I am. Just keep in mind my limited shoulder mobility. I did the first rep from a hang. Okay, and as you watch these, right, as we come down, usually like the 6th rep, I'll pause each time. Right there, that's my range of motion. That's it. And again, I'm doing dead hangs every day. I'm trying to add some extra shoulder stuff. There's certain shoulder mobility exercises that people would say, oh, you could do this. No, I physically can't do the exercise. I can't even do the mobility exercise. But that's another story. It's like, that would be great. You're right. That's a great movement. I physically can't do it. I can't actually do like the like over under type things that people do, to where you actually grab a band and squeeze it and take it all the way overhead and behind your head with a mini band or whatever. I can't actually do that. I can't actually get it directly over my head. My arms won't do that. My shoulders won't actually do that. So I can do the dead hangs though, which, hey, is helping. So on these, some of the reps, it's a little harder for me to get my lock out. So I went with a medium grip. And because that's about the widest I have any strength. And I did some videoing yesterday with the empty bar just to kind of see where I could lock to. And yeah, every inch I add literally makes a difference. And this medium grip takes me just outside shoulder width. I get a little better with it. I am weak at it. Why am I weak at it? Because my side delts are weak. And they get used more as you go wider. I really always like that really close grip because I can use a lot of front delt and tricep. It forces me to use more deltoid, and it's harder. So I had to go with a ridiculously lightweight, and I'm going to have to accept that. But none of these were to failure. So I can microload from here. Yeah, I went with 115 pounds for sets of 6. I know. For a guy my size, that's weak. Because you guys remember at a certain time I was doing like multiple sets of 12 with 135. Now they weren't paused though. So that's what we're going to do different. I'm going to build this up step by step by step. Build the overhead press back up. But at least my shoulders don't hurt today. They're beat up. The joints don't hurt, but my shoulders themselves, the muscles hurt. They're beat up. All right, I'll build my overhead press up because we know that corresponds to close grip strength. And I'll use incline benching, I'll use overhead pressing, and a lot of tricep work. I'm going to start doing band press downs, I think, every day. I did that for a while, and I'm like, I don't know that it helps much. But you know what? It does. If anything, it'll help them recover, build the tendons. Snatch grip high pulls, I decided to go with 6s and to use these straps. The figure 8 straps work great today. Why? Because I'm not trying to do too many reps. The main thing for me with straps and stuff like this is they start all sliding. I can't maintain that grip width. This let me do it because I'm only doing 6s. And I felt like I left room in the tank here. So last time I was doing these, I was doing sets of 10 with 225. 20-pound jump sets of 6s. I feel like I can stick with the 6s, build these back up, and I can just add weight and just get stronger and stronger at these. But you know what? This left my delts fried because I haven't been doing much overhead pressing. Especially after doing the incline benching and then doing these, my delts were fried. I didn't even do face pulls. Face pulls might be something I start adding as a little bit of restoration. Okay, I might start doing those a lot of days. My days off also, along with band press downs. I didn't feel like doing them today. I have other priorities. I needed to do some bicep work. I needed to do some forearm work. And these are all specific to what I'm doing. They're going to be very specific. Now, then we get to the JM presses. This is the only thing I was unhappy with today. They didn't feel right. I felt my shoulders, and I only went up 5 pounds. Last time I did 75 pounds for these, and I got like sets of 12. They looked great, felt great. I felt like today it was a struggle to keep my elbows up. Now, looking at the footage, it's not that bad. So I'm torn on what to do on my next workout. Do I drop back down to 75? Do I try to do this 80 pounds again and just see if I can make it feel better? I don't know. But they didn't feel fully correct to me today. I mean, they worked the triceps, but my shoulders hurt a little bit while doing them. Both of them. Now, is it because I just overhead pressed first? Maybe. But, you know, again, trying to get these dialed in perfect. And you know, it's funny because every time I do 75 pounds, I'm like, that feels great, it's perfect. But then I get more than the reps. I want to just be able to hit around 10 to be close to failure. I'm getting like 12 reps. So the other solution might be, okay, instead of trying to do 80, let me just micro load it. Instead of 75, I could just use my micro plates, go up to 77.5, might be what I do. But I need to get strong on these, but I need to do it correctly. I need to do it correctly. And Blakely's right. Get it dialed in perfect. It's like stay light, and eventually you can do heavyweight on these. Really not there, because when I've done heavyweight on these, it doesn't look anything like a JM press. Even when I got to 195 before. Now my close grip benching came along really well even when I did that. It's a lot stronger than it is now. But it did bang the shoulders up quite a bit. And probably didn't give me the most desirable effect. Okay. I mean, looking at these, they don't look as bad as they felt. They did not feel right, though, today. And again, it could have just been shoulder fatigue. Could have been shoulder fatigue. So I might go with 77.5. I might stick with the 80. Then we did curls. Now some people might not like the way I do curls. I don't care. Starting at the bottom, I'm pulling my shoulders back and I'm taking them just a peak contraction. I have the elbow completely bent as far as it will go. Why? I don't want shoulder extension on these. Again, I've had a shoulder impingement from pull-ups already. Curling up really high can affect the subacromial process, the spacing in it. You can pinch your rotator cuffs. Not worth it to me. Not saying shoulder extension can't contribute to bicep, it can. But in this case, what am I doing? I'm doing these as a chin-up accessory. I need my biceps to get stronger in chins. I can tell when I do chin-ups that if my biceps were stronger, my chin-ups would be better. Okay, because I feel a lot more arm than I do lat. On chin-ups, pull-ups, I get more lat. I can tell my biceps are limiting me. Okay, some heavy curls will do that. But where is the chin-up? You really use the bicep. It's not just that stretch at the bottom. Yeah, it's used there. Sure it is. It's that peak contraction at the top. That's the hardest part of the chin-up. So I'm training my biceps to just use only the bicep as I do these, right? I'm bringing the elbow back and bringing it up to where it's hard right there at that peak contraction. I can't even handle it or hold it there. I want that heavy weight to overload right at that peak contraction. That will give me the chin-up carryover. Then I did some behind the back wrist curls. Why? I feel like I need more forearm. I know my benching. I know my pull-ups, all that stuff. I just get my forearms a bit thicker. It'll give me more stability on those. It's not for grip training. All the dead hangs actually are working wonders for my grip. My grip is doing really good these days. This is just to thicken that area up. That's it. I feel like I need it. I'll benefit from it. It's possible weak link in my benching because it really hurts after I bench because I squeeze the bar so hard. Maybe I just need to thicken my forearms up more to help. And that's the idea. So I'm going to do a little bit of this. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.